that is said over and over again in the baby sleep world is that sleep promotes sleep. An overtired baby is going to struggle to sleep. When babies are overtired, they are more cranky, more clingy, and just generally more difficult. If this sounds like a situation that you're dealing with, let's jump right in and talk about how to help an overtired baby. A common myth that a lot of parents hear is that if you keep your baby awake later, then they'll sleep better and they'll sleep in later in the morning, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. What's really happening in your baby's body when you're keeping them up past their bedtime or their proper wake window is that their body is producing cortisol and they're running on adrenaline, and it may seem like your baby is bouncing off the walls or they're really hyper. So a lot of parents think, my baby's all over the place. There's no way that they're tired right now. They're bouncing all over the walls. How could they possibly be tired? They're never gonna go to sleep right now. That's because you missed the window of opportunity to get them down. So how do we fix this? I have 5 tips to help you get your overtired baby sleeping better. The first thing that you really need to do is respect the wake windows. Yes, I said respect them. If you are observing your child's wake windows and their sleepy cues combined together and really understanding when is that window of opportunity to get your baby to sleep, then your baby is going to sleep so much better. Now, if you don't know a lot about wake windows, I have a whole wake window chart in my free baby sleep guide. Click the link in the description box to grab this guide. Tip number 2 is that you need to give your baby early bedtimes. Contrary to what a lot of people think, you need to give them earlier bedtimes until they are caught up on their sleep and they do not have a sleep debt anymore. You'll know when your baby is more well rested when they're just happier throughout the day. I mean, it kind of goes without saying that when you're tired, you're a lot more cranky, and adults might be a little bit more clingy and want some more cuddles, but those overtired babies are the ones who are constantly cranky, always need to be held, they're very clingy, and just nothing that you do makes them happy. That's because your baby is overtired. Tip number 3 is that when your baby is in this overtired state, they are sleep deprived. They're producing more cortisol, more adrenaline, like we previously discussed, and they are not able to self-soothe. So before you even really jump into sleep training, assist your baby to sleep as often as possible in order to get them to sleep. Now, this might look like fully assisted naps for a couple of days. So maybe you have to hold your child for a nap. But once you really fill the sleep debt and you're filling up your baby's sleep tank, then you can work on independent sleep. Tip number 4 is to encourage longer naps. Now, if your baby is older than 6 months old, I will always tell you to use crib hour. If you're not familiar with what crib hour is, then after this video, I want you to watch this video right here so you can learn all about crib hour. I go way in depth on what crib hour is and how to use it, but I only recommend it when your baby is 6 months old or older. If your baby is younger than 6 months old and they're taking short naps, you have 2 options. Either you let the short naps be until they're a little bit older and you can sleep train for them to take longer naps, or you can try to extend their naps. So if your baby falls asleep at nap time, wakes up 45 minutes later, and they really should be sleeping for at least 1 hour to an hour and a half, you can try to assist them back to sleep, or at that point, you can just hold them and get them back to sleep, because if you're working on nighttime sleep, you need to ensure that they are getting the daytime sleep they need before sleep training at night. But either way, getting enough daytime sleep and long enough more restorative naps are going to be key to not having an overtired baby. Tip number 5 is routines, routines, routines. Whether your baby is 1 month old or 11 months old, it does not matter. You need routines in your baby's life. Now, that first month of life, I'm gonna give you a little leeway there because, you know, you're just in survival mode. But after that first month, when you've established your feeding schedules / routines, maybe you've established your milk supply, figured out how much formula your baby needs, your body is healing from labor and delivery, you're getting to know this new human that you just brought into the world. So that first month, I really just consider survival mode. But after that is when I lay it on thick with the routines and the importance of using the eat, play, sleep routine. Now, this isn't a schedule. I almost just said schedule, but this isn't a schedule. Eat, play, sleep routine basically just means that your day is completely structured for you, and I find so much freedom in structure, and having the eat, play, sleep routine structured into your day really just means that when your baby wakes up in the morning, you're going to change your baby's diaper first. Always change the diaper first so that you're disassociating feedings with sleeping, but your baby's going to know that it is daytime. You say good morning, you change their diaper, you eat, they eat, feed them, and then you play with them, and then they sleep, or they play independently. You don't always have to be like on the floor playing with your baby, but eat, play, sleep. That is the best way to get your baby into a great daytime routine so that at night, when it's just sleep, 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 your baby is ready for it. Now, don't forget that I have a free baby sleep guide in the description box down below. Grab that guide, and then I want you to go watch this crib hour next. So if you don't know about crib hour, if your baby is over 6 months old, or even if your baby is younger than 6 months old, they're gonna be 6 months old soon enough. So watch the crib hour video, click here to subscribe to my channel, and keep blooming. Mwah.